And this from then on is what is called the minor arcana of the normal tarot. They are separated into 4 suits, a little bit like traditional tarot, by season. So we'll have winter, spring, summer, autumn. There are more cards per suit, if I'm not mistaken. You'll see the difference. It's not so much ace to king. We do this, the winter solstice could kind of be considered an ace, but after the 10th, we have more people, or maybe it's the same but in 3 different phrases. I haven't quite figured that one out. I think it's something, but we will look at it, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So here we have the winter solstice. Again, different ways of seeing the winter solstice, whether it's a giant icicle, a quiet frozen landscape, or here we have maybe a ranger, maybe a hunter with some animal companions maybe. Now this is the 2nd of winter. The 3rd of winter. With that boat, it kind of feels a little bit like a 3rd of wands, right? Like the boat's coming either back to shore or leaving. Now the 4th. This here is so different between. Here we just have like 4 icicles and I don't know, a thunder or something. Here maybe it's a snowstorm. Here, I want to look at the book. What do they say for the 4 of winter? So I find it's vastly different. Okay, so 4 of winter, or the 4th. The storm approaches, preparations have been made. This is as ready as you will ever be. There is an air of anxiety to this card, a second guessing despite overwhelming preparedness. Here I'll just, and then I'll skip a little bit. Lightning strikes the horizon, the first shot of the battle to come. There you go. Here we can see definitely the lightning going on here. We have some storm clouds, but no indication of lightning happening over here for these 2. All right, interesting. Now let's move on to the 5th of winter. Now, see, now we definitely have lightning going on everywhere. 6th of winter. Things are seemingly not going too well. So maybe here where we have the sun, which gives me personally a little bit of hope going on here. I would say even same over here because the sky doesn't seem as dark. Now 7 of winter. And so far we can see that for the first iterations of the normal tarot, this is definitely more pippish than the later ones, where there's definitely a scene. I don't think I could count 7 of anything here, neither there. Now 8 of winter. Oh, everybody has a moose, caribou? Which animal would that be? A moose or a caribou? Now moving on to the 9th. A lonely house going on. then the 10th. Okay, now here, this is, you know, you up until the 10th, you could say, well, this kind of feels a little bit like regular minor suit. But here, this is where it differs. We are going to have 3 nights for each of the seasons. And then we're going to have 4, I believe it's either 3 or 4 different ladies. Well, there is one card that's called a lady, but 3 or 4 different women in different positions. So we'll just go with the Winter Night 1. Then we have the Winter Night 2. So we have a little bit of difference between the 1 and the 2. The Winter Night 3. And I believe it's the same night, but in 3 different scenarios or scenes or I will say instances. So if we kind of remember the first 2 nights, I would say this one is like going into action. The second one here in the thick of the action. And then 3, the end result perhaps, or just the end point, or what the result. And for this particular night in the winter, it don't seem to have a necessarily good end for that night. Now we are on to the women. So like I mentioned, we have 3 or 4 women. This is the Winter Lady. Followed by the Winter Queen. And this one, I have to say, looks more severe. Out of all these Winter Queens, I think I would watch out for her way more. The Winter Mother. These cards are slippery. I'm having a hard time grabbing onto them. And for the version, they put little symbols. So that's kind of neat. And those are the ladies. So I said there were 3 or 4. So we have, 3 women. So the nights, 3 nights, 3 ladies, we'll say. Or three women positions. Now we're moving on to the next suit, the next season, which is spring. Again, we can see the difference between all of them. I like that one, but I do also like this one. But I do like the butterfly on that one. And that is probably how and why I ended up with all these different versions. Because there's something I like in each of the cards. The second. Kind of feels like a fool, doesn't it? Well, at least for this one, because of the little, what do you call it in English? In French, it's like a baluchon, but I don't know. I'm sure there's an English word for it, and I don't know what it is. Now the 3rd of spring. So here again, we can see here it's like more pippish or pippish forward. Whereas here, it's not right away evident what it is. You definitely would have to read the titles first. Until you're used to the cards. Now 4. But I like how similar. So here, from here to here is almost very similar what they drew. The 5th of spring. The 6th. The 7th. Oh, the pretty butterfly. Gives an air of tranquility. These two over here, but also here. We have some fish going on here. Feels very tranquil. Now the 8th of spring. Which kind of feels like an 8 of Pentacle, only because of the working on something. Ninth of spring. And the 10th of spring with the big B, which is very prominent here, but no bees here or here. Now on to the nights. We have Spring Night the 1st, or 1. And here is told, like, is it an orc or something? Or is it a mask? Okay, maybe it's a mask. I thought it was an orc. But here, the feet looks like it's not green everywhere. The fingers are not green, so I think it's a mask. All right, pretty cool. Now the 2nd. I think in all the times that I've used the normal tarot, I don't think I've come across the Spring Nights one, even one time. I don't think so. Now the 3rd. They're looking almost like en garde. En garde, positioning themselves. And now on to the women with the Spring Lady. See, that's a cute little girl or lady, but the roots here kind of gives it a little bit more sinister. It makes you think like those horror movie where it's like this cute little girl and then there's like this menacing entity behind or within her, and the scary feel. But I think it's just roots basically. Oh, and each of them have a doll. I'm noticing that now. The Spring Queen. Oh, she's lovely in the silver and the black and white version. I think it's her dress. I wouldn't mind that dress actually, now that I'm looking at it. And then here, I would say because of the green tint of the skin, I would say like it's like a nature entity or a nature elemental. Now we are going to move on with the Spring Mother. do like the sunflowers in the background here. Oh, and here there's a nest with eggs. That's cute and funny. I like that. And then here it's like a butterfly mask, which I'm kind of dating myself, but if any of you have ever come across or watched Miraculous Ladybug, I think that's the name of it. One of the bad guys has, it's not a butterfly mask, it's a moth mask, but it's essentially the same. It's kind of what I'm remembering. Now, okay, summer solstice. Again, we have some big differences, like a big flame, maybe from like a mountain or something, the sun just illuminating out there, and then here somebody pointing to the sun, maybe, or walking or pointing to the direction. Wait, is that what I said? I feel like I'm repeating myself. Sorry, guys. Now, the 2nd of summer. That one is fun. The 3rd of summer. The 4th of summer. I'll say for these one, it feels more dynamic. That's what I had in mind. Like there's a whole conversation going on here. It feels more like they're walking in silence. Kind of each like, come on, we have to walk through this desert. It's gonna take some time. And here, maybe a little bit more companionship. Yeah. So the 5th of summer, where here it definitely would feel to me like a 5 of Wands. Although poor people here, it looks like they're getting cooked, quite literally. I remember now that one, and it still makes me laugh. So I guess here, you know, this couple. Oh, I even forgot about her, but I remember the first few times. So there's one guy who's probably crying, like, "Oh my gosh, no!" This girl is like, that has to be the wing woman. Like, yes, they're together. This guy is, or person is just heartbroken, basically. And her that I forgot about, who is she holding on to? Wait, hold on, let me follow that leg. Who is she holding on? Wait, really, who is she holding on to? Because I'm not connecting the legs. Okay, so that leg belongs to this person. Okay. Okay, so she's, but how are they positioned? In any case, she's holding on to that person's leg. But this is a whole drama show, but I'm here for it. Like this is the type of stories that you find on TikTok on a 25-part series of like, this is how X happened, and you know, we got together. She was super happy. I don't know who's the guy. Maybe he was hoping to maybe ask either of them out. Didn't work out. Maybe that's an ex and just cannot say no, cannot let go. But too bad, so sad, they're together, and even the sun is like right centered on them. So this one, it's just fun. I like this one a whole lot more than this one here, where everybody's getting cooked, but there's still some drama going on. Maybe these two are arguing. This one is having a whole crisis. This one is, I don't know, just crying over it. This one is saying like, please. This guy is saying, no, get over it, or something. And then this one, less drama. Just a discussion, a back and forth. Not as fun when you have these over here, right? But that's just me. Just give me some ridiculous, like, dramatic story. I'm here for it. On to the 6th, where it looks like we are watching a play. Now 7th, again, I'm reminding myself not to talk too much for each card, because like I said, there's like 100 cards of these. And if I were to do that, we'd be there for 2 hours. I'd be there for 2 hours and I would be tired. So here's the 7th of summer. That one is sweet. I want to know why these one are people holding hands, but then here it's, I don't know, harvest, more like of a harvest, like food prepping feel, I guess we could say. Hold on, let me grab the book because I'm curious. I want to know. This feels like it totally went left. Let's go summer, and we are at number 7. Okay, so 4, 7. Okay, 7. Oh, you gotta love this book. Okay, so I'll read the little for now, just because of how short it is. I'll just read the little blurb. So it says, the 7th of summer, the summer court, excellent luck, a bountiful harvest, which we can see here. Here we're like bountiful harvest. But then maybe if you got the person you like, it's a good harvest for you, right? That's how I'm processing it. Then it says, the 7th of summer is a simple card. Sometimes good things happen for no reason at all with no strings attached. That's it, that's all. So, and here you can get it. Sometimes good things happen for no reason at all. Like, I don't know how I got this person that I'm dating, but I wanted this person and I got it. Like, woohoo me. And mind you, I will say that I'm reading from the 2nd edition of the guidebook that you can buy separately. In the 2nd edition guidebook came with the black and gold version. So if it is different in the newer edition of the guidebook, we'll see. I'll put a mental bookmark to check those out. So let's move on to the 8th of summer. Here it looks like they're cooking, prepping. And there's little people. I wonder why. Moving on to the 9th. This guy looks a lot, well, this guy looks the most burdened, tired. And then there's this guy, and then these two people, well, the same person, just kind of like holding a basket of grain, just like, yeah, I'm holding. This one seems like, oh my gosh, like I have to walk, I'm tired. And then this guy's like, oh, sheesh, my back. Now on to the 10th of summer. Again, very different interpretation and rendition depending on the versions. All right, now we are going to move on to the nights over here. The summer night 1. See, this guy definitely looks like spent. I would say it's giving me a 9 of Wands energy. This one is, well, although I'd kind of say a 7-ish of Wands. And then these two maybe also is more of a 7 of Wands. Although they don't look like, he doesn't look as spent there. Then we have the summer night 2nd, where here, let me see, because just looking from a distance, I am not right away seeing what's going on or which way the knight is facing, because I don't see a face. Okay, so I guess he's facing that way to deflect a hit maybe, or to defend, I guess, incoming. And then here, that's what's going on, definitely. And then summer night the 3rd. I would say they kind of all look like triumphant, right? Like they won, or they're still standing at least. And then this night, again, very, I would say the art is on the dark side, so I'm missing details going on here. Maybe the knight is walking away. So then if they're walking away, again, a sense of I'm still standing. Oh, and I'm noticing now there's like angel wings. Pretty cool. All right, now this summer lady. Oh, look how adorable she is. Look at this cute little adorable lady. So cute. And then she just looks like she is just vibing and meditating. Yeah, I'd say meditating over here. Meditating, vibing. It's just like this adorable little girl of a lady. Now on to the Summer Queen. Now just at first look, if I didn't read the title, I would have thought more spring or like Queen of Pentacles because of the color of the outfit she's wearing. But I do like the flowers, greenery in the hair. I do like that. And then here it's almost the same position, like same everything. So very cool. And then the Summer Mother. Just this sweet looking little lady. All right, and now we are on to our last suit slash season, which is autumn. Fall for everybody else who uses that term better. So we have the autumn equinox. I like that one, the blowing on leaves. The 2nd of autumn. Look at the bee. It's a cute little bee. But again, so different. We got some bees. Here, 2 people holding hands and an owl for the 2nd. Do I want to look in the guidebook? Do I want to? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm about an hour in. You know, at this point, I've already done it twice. 3rd time's a charm. Let's just go for it. Sorry, guys. We are where? Right at the 2nd. So the 2nd, I'll read just the one paragraph, which says, a small harbinger of good things to come, the beginning of a season for feast and family. I'm not familiar if owls are seen as symbols of good luck or good things happening. So for this one, I would not see it at all. I'm sorry, I would not see it. This one, I guess I could kind of see it. And then for the bees, I guess the harvest. But very interesting. Where were their brains? Where they were drawing the cards? I wish I could pick their brains. Here we have the 3rd of autumn. So very wine focused going on here. So maybe this is like a case of wine. Here we have a wine cellar, and then this person examining or maybe about to drink a glass of wine. Ooh, my cards are sticking again. The 4th of autumn. Okay, there's some brooming happening. All right, but we don't even see the dust pile here, but here. So, well, at least for me, that's one of the first thing that I noticed after the broom was the little dust that they were putting together. Now the 5th of autumn, another card that I don't think I've ever gotten when I was using this deck. So this is interesting. This is the only one with a person. Well, is it a person or maybe it's a sculpture? In any case, it's an angel, I will say, who looks to be thinking, maybe waiting. On to the 6th. Oh, that's a cozy feel. That's a cozy. Maybe that would be like a somewhere between a 10 of Pentacles or a 10 of Cups. I'm not too sure. Like just for the cozy family feel. Now the 7th of autumn. Okay, maybe some sort of agreement or reunion, maybe greetings. And that looks like a bug party going on the 8th of autumn. A whole bunch of bugs having a party going on here. And here we have dancing skeletons along a fully fleshed couple. Cool, why not? Now the 9th. That could be something out of like a New Year's party, right? Especially here. But at the same time, could be a 3 of Cups, just because of the party aspect. And now the 10th of autumn. The after party. When you're crashing at someone's couch, or you're just like, you get home and you just done, spent. This is fun. All right, we are with the night. The autumn night 1. Which they all seem to be doing like almost 3 different things. We have this knight with arrows flying over their heads. And I almost want to see, this one seems a bit more dramatic. Like it's almost like it would be nighttime. Then this guy, maybe examining what's going on. And maybe that guy is examining it too, but the way that they're crouched, I would think that they would be leaping in the next instant. Now we have the Autumn Night 2. And I guess that's kind of what happened here, because here the knife is bloodied. This guy is leaping into action. Ooh, I just realized they got an arrow, not to the knee. If you know, you know. But to the leg, the stomach, and the shoulder. Ouch. And then this guy too got seriously injured, but injured somebody else. And then as well as this guy. Ooh, I don't think the Autumn Nights are going to have a good end. Because it seems like they did what they're supposed to do, but I don't know if they're going to make it. And nope, Autumn Night 3 is telling me they are not going to make it. We can see here for the 1, 2 silver, and 2 gold, it's just kaput. And same as the color version. They are just straight up in a pile of skulls. So Autumn Nights, not too good for them. Now the Autumn Ladies. They're all lovely, but something about the hair of the black and gold that I'm really digging. And then we have the Autumn Queen. Ooh, see here, I dig the outfit, like the whole look. And then the Autumn Mother. Again, just this sweet looking little old lady, especially here. Reading a book. Maybe studying. Maybe consulting, who knows? Now we're done the suits. There are 2 jokers in the normal tarot, which are the Masterless Knight. So this is the Masterless Knight. And the second joker is the Nameless Goddess. Now they call him Joker. I did not encounter, this is another of those cards that I did not encounter in the times that I've used the normal tarot, because they kind of do something to your spread when you pull them. I don't remember. I think one of them you kind of mulligan, so you kind of just redraw, reshuffle, because it's kind of, they kind of like throw a wrench into it or something. So here are the nameless goddesses. And I'm sorry, this one kind of looks like a donut or a cookie. I don't know if it's because I'm hungry, but they look like sprinkles. It looks like a cookie. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing, but that's what it is. Alrighty. And a little particularity, you will not find it apparently in the newest edition, Normal Tarot 3, nor in Normal Tarot 1, the OG we'll call. Silver and Gold had 2 extra cards. That was the Caretaker. So this is what they look like. This one's kind of cute. This one feels like a picture I would find on someone's social media profile or among their pictures in their social media page. And the other one named Okatsu. Definitely gives anime vibes. And I will just read you real quick what it says, because this is something I learned from someone else who bought the newest printing of the silver. I think it was the silver version they got. Was it the silver? It must have been the silver because it's the only one that still has those cards. So they bought the newest reprinting of the silver version, and they were wondering what those cards were and what they were for. In the second edition of the book, it does say it, but in the new edition of the book, they will make no mention of these cards. So I will just show you that. So the Caretaker and Okatsu, these cards are throwaway cards. I'm not lying. This is what it says, black and white. While we offer nothing for you here in reading with them, you are now the bearer of this deck. What you include in your readings is your choice. We have added them as fun extras. I hope you enjoy owning them, and feel free to share with us how you use them in your reading if you do. So basically, these are whatever you want, whatever you do, whatever you make of it card. Personally, I just put them aside because I don't have a meaning to them. Like, I don't know how I would interpret them necessarily. Maybe one day I will, but for now, I don't. So I will put them aside. And with it, guys, yay for us. We have completed the flip through. Yay! Woo! All right. So what I'll do is I will just shuffle the cards. I've shown throughout the flip through a few examples of how the prompt in the big guidebook read, so you had an idea of what the artists had in their hands when they were doing the deck. So I'll just show you how the cards shuffle, and I will just show you the difference between the guidebook and the little fold out page. So if you decide not to buy the guidebook, you will obviously get a whole lot less compared to if you buy the separate book. I mean, makes sense, especially with the size of the thing. So let me just shuffle it real quick. And what would I do? Maybe, because I already read a few passages already, maybe I'll just as you can see, shuffles nicely. Now, because of the foil edges, for sure after a while they might get scuffed. Like my gold copy here, I have a little bit of scuff. Makes me sad, but that's life. That's what happens when you are using it. But I do like this tone of silver. So because they're all 350, I don't believe there is there is no cord to this card, so they do have a good amount of flexibility. The fact that they have a shiny finish makes it easy to shuffle in the sense that there's no clumps. So as you can see, there you go. So I think I'll draw from just the OG, the gold, and the what do you call it, the full color third version. And to make it easier, if we can, I'll try to find a card. Hopefully we can have a card from quote unquote the major arcana. So up until the equinoxes or the seasons, we'll say. And then one card from a season. And I'll just match it with what I have in the other edition to make it easier. And then we will read the passage real quick. Alrighty, I think that will be the simplest so that the video doesn't go crazy. As it is, I probably will cut this video in two. So in case this video gets cut in two, we are probably by now at the second part of this side-by-side comparison. I think I did a two-part series for Wildlands as well. Because at one point when you have a whole bunch of similar decks, it makes it longer. But yeah, as you can see, very shiny. Now if we could have just two cards, that would be useful. Thank you very much. Okay, here we have the 6th of Summer. And let us grab one of, I don't know whether it's a king. No, let's not have a king because really, there, Burning Garden. That works. Yeah, it's kind of dramatic. I know, guys, but you know what? Better than the kings, because seriously, these kings, woo! All right, so let me fetch these other cards in the other two decks. I won't, because the silver is the same, no need. And we will read it. And here we go. We have all two cards in the 3 out of the 4 versions. Like I mentioned, I omitted the black and silver because it is essentially the same art as the OG, just that there is more blacks or more whites and the silver foiling. So here we have a look of what the 6th of Summer looks across the different versions. Again, as you can see, very different interpretation. The font on the 3rd full color, much smaller than the other 2. And we have the foil accent. And this is the Burning Garden. As I mentioned, this one feels more dramatic. I think it because it looks, the point of view feels more cinematographic. Is that a word that I'm trying to turn into English? It's, yes, it's more, it feels more like a movie angle. And here we can definitely see people in the gold. Okay. So now, if you just buy without the extra guidebook, you will have these little pamphlets. This is what came with the black and gold. So of course it's a little bit different. Then here, the artist mention, if one could focus, please and thank you. Here that we have at the very bottom, we have it here at the front. And then when you open it, you will have just the card and a 1 sentence, or sometimes even just like a short, like the shortest of sentences about the card. And then here you can see they kind of swap between the old, where the kings are here at the bottom and then the kings are here. They swap the moons with the kings. So I'm curious to see if it should be the same meaning. It shouldn't even matter. I'll start by order. Yeah, I'll start by order in which they come in the booklet. So if we start with, so it's going to be a little bit backwards. The Burning Garden, which is right over here. So this is what I mean. This is a perfect example. For the Burning Garden, we have the mention chaos, mulligan the reading if you wish. So sometimes it'll be something like that. And then for the 6th of Summer, which is at the back here. Oh, exactly. So at the 6th of Summer, you can see here, we have emotional resolution, strong sexual implications. Now, if I were to read it in order, so there's strong sexual implications, just, if you want, you might want to, well, you might want to redo that whole thing. In any case, now here for the guidebook. This is what came, what I bought actually. When I bought the black and gold, as you can see, this is what the cover looks like. How to Normal Tarot, 2nd edition. Staring into the seething, unknowable chaos of the universe for fun and profit. It's kind of a funny tagline. I kind of like it. And it is here, as you can see at the bottom here, by the Caretaker of the Stars. Then at the back, we have this little blurb. How to Normal Tarot is a book to help you gain a deeper grasp of the Normal Tarot itself, Normal Tarot deck itself. With all new major arcana, jokers, and 3 nights per season, you will need all the help you can get. Come along, dear reader. The Caretaker has decided that you are ready to determine your own fortunes. Now it's time to get mystical. This is what it looks like. Now, the newest edition is this one. Much different cover style than this one. I don't know if it's true, but I think this might have been the cover of the OG, that the guidebook had that cover, and then for the 2nd edition was this one, and then now for this new edition they went back to the first one. But I don't know if that's, but I believe that's something that might have been what happened. And so here is it the same? Yes, so the same little tagline. So 3rd edition. So here we have, if we can zoom a little bit on the spine, which might not be possible. There we go. 3rd edition, Tarot Companion. And here again, we have the little logo and $10 for the guidebook. So I believe this is the almost the same, with the difference here after How to Normal Tarot is the definitive guide to gaining a deeper grasp on the Normal Tarot, with insights from the deck's designer and advice on how to read and understand the deck. In this final 3rd edition, you'll find a spread of all 4 versions of the deck on each page, helping you to understand the all-new major arcana, jokers, and the seasons that rest in place of normal tarot suit. Come along, dear reader. The Caretaker has decided that you are ready to turn your own fortunes. Time to get now is the time to get mystical. There you go. And here we have a nice little border going on here with the planets. So already the back of the book told you the difference. And oh, look at that. So here, this is so cool. So this is a little inside cover. This was different of the 2nd edition. And this is what it looks like in the newer edition. I will see the difference. 2nd edition, glossy. They're both not hardcover, paperback. They're both paperback, glossy covers. However, the pages here, they are not glossy. They're just we'll say plain paper. Here, at least for all of them, we have glossy covers, glossy pages, sorry. And we even have here different layout of the inside page, about the author, so design, meaning it spreads, the 1st, 2nd edition silver, the 2nd edition gold, the 3rd edition artist, and the layout and the publishing by Dane Asmund, the person behind the Publishing Goblin. And accent skulls poach from here, I like this little note. Accent skulls poach from furiously prognosticating art by Samdell. I kind of like that. It's kind of cute. And what do we have here? We have a more, I'll say, like standard credit page, publishing page, which we do not find. Well, we kind of find it here. And here back then it was 713 books and not Publishing Goblins. And we have the credits here. We have the table of contents where you can definitely see the cards more separated into their suits, we'll say. So the 3 omens, the 4 maidens, 5 dreams, 6 books, 7 kings, 8 moons. It's almost ascending. We're missing 9 of something. Then each of the courts. Oh, sorry, this is cutting out. Each of the courts and the 2 jokers. Oh, my camera, I keep on shaking it. I am so sorry, guys. And this is the same here. And I think I will, what will I use? I'll use both. And this is an intro. We have a little intro from the Caretaker. And then right away, we start with the first card. This is the 3rd edition. We have a, as you can see, a little thumbnail of all 4 editions. And a little, although it's not, you don't see it from the side of the page, but if you were to just kind of flick your thumb through, you have at least a little color code of each of the suits, or in this case, you have like the moons and the courts and all of that. So at least they're kind of easy to thumb through and find what you need. So that's pretty cool. And we don't find that, of course, in this one because it's all black and white. Although we have here, in this case, it was for the gold and black, a big image and a meaning / explanation of the card. We'll say it like that. And depending on the card, we'll have more text, or like the one that I read, I forgot which card it was. It was just, you know, you have a good thing for no reason. So depending on the card, we have different length of text. Towards the end, like I mentioned, so card 100, 101. After that, we have a little page on how to read with the deck, the seasons and what they generally mean, and then some reading spreads, or as they call it, reading type. So 3 cards, 5 cards, the forked road. This one is basically where you draw the first 3 cards face up and then 4 cards face down, and then you would pick 2 among the 4 cards face down to kind of complete the hand, kind of poker style. So this is the choice that you take, basically. And then after that, the ones that you didn't pick, those are it's to represent the road that you did not take. Then after that, we have a 6-point seal reading spread. And I think there might be another one after that. The Zenith Knot, it is called, which is 13 card, which is right at the limit of the number of recommended card to be read at once with this deck. Oh my goodness, can I stop knocking this thing over? And then a little page on the people behind. These are just a page for the thank you for the backers. So pretty cool. So let me just put that aside, and then maybe it's the same thing. Let me look in the table of contents if it's the same. Then we have reading the deck. Oh, okay, just reading the deck. An intro from the Caretaker, so the designer, going straight to the cards. Ah, yes. Then I think the rest. Oh, it is there. What was she saying it wasn't there? There you are. For the silver and gold. What was she saying the cards were in there? So reading the deck. And again, we have the same spreads. The 3, the 5, Forked Road, the 6-point seal, and the Zenith Knot, or Zenith. And end page, nice kind of little color of this time, the 3rd one. All right. So let me double check real quick. Because we drew the 6th of summer first, I will read that one first and see if the layout is the same. I do appreciate the fact that of that little color code upper corner thing. Makes it way easier to find. Oh, and lucky for me / us, they happen to be on the same page. And right now I can see, even just with the I guess subtitle of the summer court, the 6th of summer, we have here passion and resolution, sexuality, peace, and reconciliation. And here in the color one, it is the same thing, I believe, with a little extra thing. The final act is now. So passion and resolution, sexuality, peace, reconciliation. So basically the same. And even reading real quick the paragraph, it is the same. Basically it's the same, pretty much word for word. So I will show you that one because at least you can see all 4 cards in a page. And this is what you get here. So for the 6th of summer, strife overcome and friendship deepened. This card depicts the final scene of a play. The 6th of summer is a release of tension, and a good one at that. The sexual innuendo is not misplaced. Summer deals with that sort of thing. This card is more often than not the resolution of a complicated social situation. Loose ends tied up, hatchets buried. If the spread is a movie, this is a part where you should tease the sequel. Or where you would tease the sequel, sorry. We'll see. Very short to the point, but imaginative. There, I like that word, imaginative. Especially depending on which version of the deck you're using. Maybe you'll get that from the art, maybe not. So, very interesting. Then we will go to the Burning Garden, which I don't, let me look at the, okay, it's among the 5 dreams. Wait, seriously? I do like this color code business. There you go. Card 9, the Burning Garden. Once again, this is what it looks like. It says here, the garden is burning. No doubt. Chaos, a mulligan, a fresh start, a cleansing destruction. This card depicts a garden party going up in flames. It is chaos, wonderful, manic chaos. The destruction that the burning garden brings is utterly random, devoid of purpose or intent. Flame is a destructive but purifying force, and it will consume everything that burns. Manicured topiary, banners of royal houses, and intricate stonework alike are all bathed in flames. Who knows what will who knows what will be reborn from the ashes? Is what is lost to be mourned, or perhaps a clean slate was welcome? During your reading, the Burning Garden is a call to mix things up, possibly even to shuffle the deck. When drawn, the reader should give the current the option for a mulligan, see what else fate may have in store. The choice is theirs. So this, see how like kind of interactive this deck can be? So this card basically, if you were to pull it, you decide, well, you know, do you want to get rid of, in this case, the sexual tension going on, and just reread do a whole reading and see what's happening, or not? Like, keep it there. Is it welcome or not? So this is why I found it interesting, and I guess you can kind of see maybe why I ended up looking for the silver one, and then ended up with the whole family of them. So there, with all that said, guys, it has been a whole hour plus, an hour and a half plus of me presenting the normal tarot. OG, 2 silver and gold, and 3. So listen, I don't even know how I could even sum up these cards, because each of them are very different. 3 different artists across 4 decks. Here, for example, the silver, we have a darker, more somber even. If you want something, I guess, if you want to have the OG just because you like plain black and white without too much extra contrast, this one might be for you if you enjoy gold, because black and gold is always a nice combination just in terms of color or how it was drawn. You have this one. Or if you know you're not a monochromatic black and white person, you want some color in your life, you like it, these are there for you. And I even, now that I'm looking, I'm noticing even they have added little icons, which I think is pretty cool. At the top of the cards, they're like, I did not notice them right away. So very cool. I will say maybe if you are a glass wearer or small fonts are a little bit harder for you to read, the color version maybe might give you a little bit more of an issue. The rest, in terms of the font, it's nice and bright, no problems here. Even if I put the one with the silver, I will say if you're going for silver for the added silver foil, it is not in your face, but it's still nice, still nicely done compared to the gold, where you know you don't have to put the card any closer to you. It is there, typical of a gold color card. No, it's true. And then, you know, if you prefer no frills, or you know you just want to look at the card, the art, these two would be for you. I do like the edges on all of the decks, even the new one, the color that doesn't have any edges, it's just plain. I like that. Sometimes I don't want to, you know, feel sad that I scuffed you know, gold. Like for example, this one here, I don't know if you can see it, but see, you know, I've used it quite a number of times, and because I don't flip it upside down the way that I'm shuffling like this, like it or not, the cards will kind of knock into each other, and I end up with, here you can definitely see it here, see here, you end up with scuff. So it's kind of sad when it kind of, more than over here, because I don't shuffle from this side, so I might have to even out the scuffing. Otherwise, what else can I say? It's very nice to shuffle, nice and flexible, even with the newer version, which, let me check something, because they look like they're bigger. Well, if they're bigger, it's like the smallest little difference between the two. Here, it's better on black on white. So if I put the two together, so my gold and black is ever so slightly smaller, but I barely noticed the difference, to tell the truth. Like it didn't hurt my hand, nothing. And even with that touch of taller, them being bigger, I had no trouble shuffling them, riffle shuffle. They're very nicely flexible. I'm not too worried that they're like so flexible that I might crease them, although I do have to be careful. Like I don't have to go crazy on them. Otherwise, you know, the art with the 3 artists on 4 decks, I think it's pretty cool. It was so nice to see side by side the different interpretation and their flavor on how they see the card to be and the meanings. I will say that it might not be a beginner oracle right away. Although, you know what, if this ends up being your first oracle deck, I mean, I'm not saying don't do it, just because each card has their particularity. They're not necessarily evident. Some, you know, yeah, well, maybe because I've worked with it a few times by now, I kind of get the feel. Like for example, I know when a king comes along, I know it's going to be something dramatic. It's almost, I don't want to say negative, but it's like this big dramatic thing for no reason. Knights, there's some sort of struggle or fight or whatever else going on. So because I've used it, at least there's that learning. But even now, there's still a learning curve. Like there's still a learning curve, you know, to tell the truth. So the guidebook is beside me, and that little pamphlet might not give you a good overall idea of the cards like the extra guidebook does. So if you can shell out that extra $10 US, I would recommend that you do, because it would be useful. Because for like, yeah, you'll have the one line, okay, mulligan, but you won't have the extra detail about, for example, for the burning garden. Well, you know, is it cleansing because you need it, or is it wanted, or just kind of burning in the sense of scrap the whole spread and redo it. So that is something that's not communicated, of course, within, you know, a one folded page. But at least you have the main points. At least there is that. And then let me see, what else can I say about it other than this is a fun deck. It truly is. Personally, I don't use it with tarot, only because of the fact that I'm still learning with it. Even if I know what I know about the deck, there's some moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on with these two? So I kind of just keep it simple for myself, but definitely they could be paired with a whole bunch of different tarot. I did not make any pairings as of now, because already the fact that there's 3 different artists, 4 different styles, I mean, you could probably come up with like 10 different decks easily to pair those with. So I will leave that part to you guys, of having fun, of either pairing it with tarot, maybe to complement, maybe to explain the cards. That could be something that could be done. Or if you just want to say, no, I just want to have that almost treated, well, no, even Lenormand, you can read it with tarot, but I kind of almost see it, how the cards explain, I almost kind of see it Lenormand type, in the sense that it comes across to me a bit divinatory, as opposed to more something, well, you can ponder that, like, it's not that you can't ponder to it, and it's hard for me to explain. With tarot, when I draw with tarot, it's kind of, I don't necessarily use it for predictive. Actually, I very, very rarely use tarot for predictive stuff. It's more searching, helping, you know, something to chew on. This one kind of feels like a more immediate window of time. And I kind of see Lenormand the same way, although, of course, that's not an absolute. I'm not saying that's absolutely what it is. So yeah, let me at least cut this part here in terms of rambling. I would definitely, if this is your boat, your cup of tea, definitely grab one, all 4s, any combination of copies. Let me know in the comments, like, is that something you would take, or is it too out there? Because, you know, it says tarot, but it's not quite. So let me know what you think about that. I'll put, of course, as always, where you can get these decks and the guidebooks in the comment section below. There are still copies available of the deck, so I'll put that for sure, of course, for you guys. Let me know what you thought of this. I don't know, how many side-by-side have I done now? Like 3 or 4? Let me think what you know of this side-by-side. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It helped you figure out what deck you'd like, if it's something that you would like, if you would mix and match it. Just let me know all your thoughts, your comments, your questions in the comment section down there. Thank you so much, guys. It's now at least almost 2 hours. It's an hour 45 minutes of me filming. Most definitely this video will be cut in 2 so that you're not overwhelmed with everything going on. And if you have anything, comment on any of the 2 parts. Thank you so much, guys, again, for checking it out for however long that you are. And until next time, bye, guys.